So for the concept of spreadsheets, we go with these objectives. Ano ang purpose niya? Of course, basic again na functions. And then we should also be able to identify the parts of a spreadsheet window, how we enter this labels, values, formulas, and function, and how we can use the auto sum feature by using the sum function, and also understand relative and absolute cell references, also on changing column width and row height. So also we could have to be able to determine how we format data, inserting and deleting these rows, the cells, rows, and columns, and for the output, saving them and printing them, adding headers, footers for in the version of spreadsheet na report. And also we would be able to sort data and adding also clip art, not only in PowerPoint na to, but sa spreadsheet pwede man. And also adding a chart, or we'll have a chart output from spreadsheet data. So for our vocabulary, we have these terms, mga absolute reference, mga active cell. Usually we also have the charts, the formula, mga functions, the labels, order evaluation, and mga range, relative cell reference, the term of spreadsheet naman. And given na may theme man to, not only in Word or PowerPoint, but also in spreadsheets, we can use themes, value workbook, and worksheet. So defining a spreadsheet, it is a row and column arrangement of data which we can have formulas added or analyzed. So MS Office Excel ng 2007 naman yung one of the previous version ng Excel, no? So subong may sa mga version ng sa mga sa latest pa. Okay na ko gamit sa Office no? Pero yung functioning niya is the same gap, evaluating, calculating, manipulate, analyze, and present numeric data. So calculations are updated automatically, which makes this type of software very effective for numerous applications. Examples are preparing budgets, financial statements, and sales reports. And to give you info, pwede mo na siya give. If you get to master this, mastery mo sa spreadsheet, you can become a technical person gid nga mo gid imo mastery nga even nga sa mga call centers nga jobs, pwede ka kuha to sang slot nga amo ng specialty gid. Okay, these are very relevant nga mga skills nga gina-outsource man, not only sa aton mga nga sa regular office, but also for foreign clients that you can use this specialty mo and expertise sa Excel to process their data in mga financial reports nila. So when you look at a spreadsheet, it looks like a grid of rows and columns lang, wire or blocks lang ganyan, may mga lines lang. So ang grid niya na is referred to your worksheet, tapos they are used interchangeably depending on priority. Usually yung worksheet natin sa mga ng the part where of the spreadsheet where we gina-edit natin or gina-update. So defining columns, identified by letters and rows naman niya by numbers. So column na kumabala column ito vertical, whereas ang row yung pa horizontal. So the point of which a column and a row intersect is what we call a cell. So its cell is has its cell reference or hambalan ng cell address, which is represented by column letter and a row number. So example, active cell, kung din lang nakaklik mo ang current mga pointer mo, or din ang kung din sabi naka-select, ang naman ma-indicate niya by thick border, may border sa around sa cell mo ng mga tinatawag natin ng active cell. So by default, when you open a new spreadsheet na workbook, it contains 3 worksheets ang manang file. Ang worksheet tabs names niya, ang sheet 1, sheet 2, kag ang sheet number 3. Makita mo na dayon siya sa lower left sang imong mga window sa workbook window mo. So to select cells, usually you point cell from the from the starting point, tapos you can click on it. Then kung group of cells naman, maklik ka sa starting cell nga i-select mo, tapos i-drag mo ang mouse up to the last cell nga of the group, or by using your keyboard shortcuts by shortcut last time but on selecting the group of cells, we call this group as the range. So it is identified by the address in the cell sa upper left, tapos followed by a colon, then the cell in the lower right corner. So for this example, A1 to D5 is among selected cells of this range, which identifies all cells from the cell A1 up to the cell D5. So you can select an entire column by clicking on a column letter at the top of the spreadsheet, or an entire row by clicking on the row number. So makita mo na sa edge sa aton yung mga or sa column, sa edge ng column or sa edge ng row nga, if you get to click on it, ma-highlight na dayon ang entire column. Makita mo na siya kayo either mag-gray na siya or mag-blue, depending on sa themes ng setup mo, sa selecting select option colors na set mo. So after selecting the cell, kung hindi siya visible sa screen, you can use the scroll bars naman to scroll to that area of the spreadsheet nga gusto mo select ang mga certain na cell. So the representation of the data is either of these 4 types of when you add data sa spreadsheet, it can either be a label, a value, a formula, or a function. So kung label siya, it is alphabetical text, or it aligns on the left side. Makita mo na sa naka-align left side dayon, that is a label. It can contain numerical data not used in calculations, letters, zip codes, for example, or pwede mo add telephone numbers, dates, and so on. And for the value naman, and align na siya because it is a number, it aligns to the right side of the cell. And a formula is an equation that performs the calculation. So you can develop a formula by entering the cell, by entering a certain formula. Example, be mathematical equation, pwede mo na mabutang dara. But you should also select the cells nga gusto mo i-add as part of that equation. So we can also have a function, built-in formula na mo na siyang built-in natin formula nga added when we install our Excel software program. It is a shortcut for common calculations such as padding, totals, and averages. So entering, when you enter, manawag na sa next na cell down the column, amo na next na active cell. Or you can also press the tab key to enter the data and move to the next cell in the row. So by editing data in the cell or selecting it, then typing the new data, you can double click on the cell or move to the insertion point to where you want to edit the data, and then you use backspace or delete keys to delete or to retype the data as desired. So in entering formulas, mo na yung mga common mathematical formula naton, adding, subtracting, averaging, multiplying, pwede na sa perform calculations within the cell by typing first the equal sign, and then amo na din po sa lahat ng mga mathematical equation. So kung mag-type kasi niya mo nito natin formula prefix, it identifies the data as a formula and not as a label. So kung magbutang ka ng formula, you can enter cell references, arithmetic operators, and functions. Later on, pakita ko sa inyo ang isa ka sample on how you would add the formula equation within a cell. So contains not one operator, but also have a complex They are called the complex formulas, and the order of evaluation determines the sequence of calculation. So, basing on multiplication division, they are performed before addition and subtraction. And calculation is performed from the left side to the right side. That's how ang equation yung ginabasa niya. Change the order of the evaluation by using parentheses. So, kung anong parentheses ang sulod, those are calculated first, then added. The result is added din sa sagwa sang parentheses sa naman ng equation. So, calculations closing parentheses are performed first. And for complex calculations, you can use a function which has its pre-written formula to automatically calculate the value based on the data you insert. So, mga examples ng evaluation, multiplications is performed first, and then addition kung wala sang parentheses. This is by level, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So, ang mga result, it will go with 15 when it's 3 times 3 is 9 plus x. But when you add naman diri, this one mga equation naman, the same mga value, 21 naman yung results. But when you add may parentheses, this unahon niya na yung 9, then it will multiply by 3, so mga result. So in a division naman, division is performed first, then subtraction. So by dividing, they divide yung 3 over 3, ma 1 na. So 6 minus 1 is 5. And then for subtraction, the same man. 3 minus 6 divided by 3, so 3. 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So the same man there. If we have parentheses, those equations inside those parentheses will be performed first, and then later on added or subtracted sa sagwa, or depending sa outside nga formula ng ginutang niya. So to enter na mo ganing equal sign, the name function sa sum, or ano pwedeng parentheses or a value or arrange kung cell can be calculated in the function. And then may closing parentheses na. May demo kung naman ko di karon. So also adding auto sum feature, no, nasa sa editing group may auto sum nila, that is may shortcut na siya nga auto sum ating dong tsura yung nag-OE kung ng auto sum naton. Once you select a group of cells, tapos i-click mo na daw yung auto sum to perform sum function right below the next cell sang pinaka lowest mo na nga cell sa mo na range. So that is your shortcut for the sum function. And if you want to copy data, you can use the copy and paste commands via the drag and drop method or the fill handle. Now for relative absolute cell references, you can copy the cells for content the cells that contain formulas, so that the cell references changes to accommodate in your location. So that is what we call the relative cell reference. Now if you want to have the value of the cell reference in the formula which to remain constant when copied, then you need it to make it an absolute cell reference. That is your definition of these two terms now. This means that when the content of the cell will not change when you're copied to another cell, that is your absolute value. So to create an absolute cell reference, type ka lang sang $sign before the column letter and a $sign before the row number, and the cell reference to remain the same. So among example, this is an absolute cell reference sang A4 by having this $sign symbols before the cell location. So absolute A and then absolute 4 for the cell A4 nga value nga maging absolute cell reference. Now for changing column width and row height, appearance man lang is almost as accuracy as important of the data that it contains. So in a way, you just need to adjust the column width, no, depende kung example you are calculating large numbers and hindi na siya kaigo sa current nga cell. Kung gawa na binatabunan ng yatulokon, or it can expand to the next nga cell sa column, no. So you would need to adjust the column width. Now how would you do that? Position yung pointer mo sa vertical line between the column letters. Makita mo na malain niya nga icon, no? When you get the pointer sa sa between sa column letters, tapos amo na din pag drag mo, click and drag to adjust the width. So you can also double click to adjust the column width to fit to its best fit. Amo ng shortcut na click, double clicking on the column width for best fit kung pila tong range ng current mga input. So kung ano tong pinakalaba tong nga na input nga numbers sa amo tong column. So dito na siya ma-adjust when you double click that certain column for its column width nga maka-adjust siya. So in adjusting row height, the same naman nga method naton di you position the pointer sa line between some row numbers. So after that, click and drag mo lang to adjust the height, tapos you can also double click man. Now for formatting data, we have the usual na ang makita niyo ang formatting niya is the same functions man sa aton nga Word, sa aton nga Excel, kasama to sa blog. Alignment, the same gyapon, text aligned to the left, tapos numeric data is to the right. So islam na alignment using those group of alignment options. Tapos orientation, wrapping. Usually we use this if we have multiple cells nga ang sa next niya you would want them nga may label ka nga malapad to cover the next row, for example. So you can use the wrapping option wherein the data the cells can be rotated or wrapped to fit the cell. And for the font size, the usual naman, font size, font style, font color, etc. Now the format painter naman provides a time-saving way to apply formats consistently for the worksheet. Now kung may isa pa gitang options makita nila sa end sang formatting tab, meron na nga remove format nga tsura na daw eraser head daw may ngalan sa nga kung i-highlight mo mabay sabi nga remove format or remove remove mo sa nga erase mo siya overall including the text. Pero usually mo nang remove format, it will go with the default kung anong default nga orientation natin sa font and alignment amo tong ilugon sang text itong gin-highlight mo. Usually mo na ginobra tayo once, for example, may mga gin-copy paste nga info halin di sa online. Kung i-add na siya sa aton nga sa Word or sa Excel ta. Kung ginasunod niya patug yapon ang format nga sa ginhalinan niya, pwede mo na magamit ang amo nga button to clean the format of that certain selected na text. So to insert rows, amo na mo insert, or you can use the Alt-IR. Amo lang Alt-IR na shortcut for the inserting rows. Kung columns naman Alt-IC, but you need to make sure that kung din ka nakabutang select nakaselect ang current mga active na cell, dito ka na siya mag-add by adding displayed options to insert cells, rows, columns, or sheets. So you can delete cells, rows, and columns kung selecting them by after selecting them, delete key. Tuma ka lang sa delete key mo. Then you can format numbers to have set number of decimal places or to have a comma. Meron na sa formatting option mo man sa number group. So later on naman best kanya kita niya format. When you click on the format dialog box, dili na siya ang sa first tab. Dili na siya usually gid ang aton nga how we categorize our cells. Amo to gina mga labels, dili na siya. Labels ang mga numbers. Usually general amo na ni. Ang numbers if you want to use them later on for calculations of data. Numbers sina sa dapat. Then kung may percentage mo or date and time, pwede man. Or kung currency naman, it will give you also the options of having currency symbols sa mga document. So after sinasang select mo sang format, you can go with the alignment font naman. Ang mo na ding shortcut sa babaw. These are the alignment and tab, and then the font toolbar sa ara sa babaw. Same man sa diri. This number naman amo ni number dialog box ang mention ko gina. If we go with this ang arrow, so madugangan ni yang nga number of zeros or wala, or you can add this one na may comma separated. For example, sa mga thousands sa lang value, you can have this option nga may kama separated. And amo na yung mga percentage naman and sa currency. So Excel cell types allow users to quickly apply for professional looking formatting group by having a style. So this style is a collection of formatting selections, cells, cell color, font, and font size. So to give a worksheet a more professional look, you can apply a theme. So amo ng theme naman predefined set naman, no? Same gyapon to yun ang definition. Predefined set of attributes including fonts, colors, chart styles, and cell styles and field effects. So going with the preview kung for if it's ready for printing, no? Usually go to the office button and click print and click print preview. So ang mga baka portrait orientation siya, it is oriented towards the short size of the bond paper. Pero usually kung long size naman, ang mga landscape natin. Usually landscape na yung napigda ko ng iyang ang text example, ang spreadsheet na about sa payroll or about sa report nila on the data, ang nila mga sales. They would want it on a landscape kay mas damo sila makover nga area or parts sang paper ng output, which is at the same time mapakita nila ang data nga mas friendly nga daw mag-grasp na dayon sa ilang boss o manager. Kay kung sa short side natin sa paper, kung siya, kung portrait siya, ang high chance gini nga makat ang report. So mas budlay siya ibasahon sa pagtindihon as compared na kung butang mo sa silang side wherein ang landscape niya nga option maka-fit ang tanan nga columns nga kinahanglan mo for the report sa isa lang ka page. Tapos may i-continue mo na din sa dalong kung may mga next page siya. Ang usually next page na is ang row naman yung adjustment, but to make sure that the columns are included naman sa isa lang ka print out. So you can define the part that you want to print by selecting it first. Then after you print it, to print spreadsheet, click ang office button to print to use the quick print. So may ara click the print area, pili ka na sa print area nga i-include mo. Kasi mo notice mo na kung once naka-open mo ng print preview mo, may mga border na sa preview ka sa makita mo ng ang sa print preview niya ang edge kung example may isa ka column hindi yan makover. Sa dira na lang edge, makita mo lang hasta lang dira ang column mo. Tapos ikaw naman ma-adjust balik mo naman to sa spreadsheet, sa worksheet nga mode, tapos i-adjust mo ang columns mo nga makaigo na sa yung mga sa paper na planohan na print out. So you can make spreadsheets more useful and attractive by adding headers, footers, and other objects such as your clip art. So sorting the data in spreadsheet according to specified columns, and you can also hide data by the same method of clicking to a column or row. Tapos may i-right click mo lang, makita mo na may hide data na. So using headers to footers to place information at the top or bottom of the spreadsheet. So kung amo na more than one page long, amo na purpose ng header footer, now it will appear as additional info and sort of formality naman for every spreadsheet nga page. So in sorting, amo ning term na to, organizing or rearranging data in either ascending or descending order. So when you sort data in ascending order, the alphabetic information arranges to A to Z na alphabetical over numeric information source to lowest mo the highest number naman ang numeric. So kung descending naman, opposite, they go with Z to A, number then highest to lowest. So sorting the data in worksheet according to data in one column or more than one column. By of course by selecting naman or select the whole column through the shortcut to nga sa babaw sa mga bagay na, and then you click on the sort shortcut button. Now for adding objects, clip art photos and objects, pwede mo butang in between or in any location nga ma-check mo nga it will enhance its appearance to make it more professional looking man naman, di lang wall of tables naman, hindi na wall of text, but wall of tables. And you can use tools and illustrations group amo nang may illustrations tab na da for adding objects such as pictures, clip arts, shapes, and smart art graphics. Amo nang professional created diagrams ng collection of smart arts. So amo ni is an example of a chart. Ang chart naman, butang mo in between sa dalom, representation na siya sa spreadsheet ng data. So to be more do clarify kung mas ma-visualize ng imong mga readers ang data ang i-present mo, hindi pa siya pa-present pa sa table, but also add chart, bar graph or line graph depende sa desired mga design which will represent gid ang imong output ni kinahanglan nga mapabalo mo sa imong clients or sa imong sa report mo or sa constituents mo. So amo na siya example nga ni amo na generate nila nga bar graph, bar chart for this data. This is weekly payroll amo ni function giving the total duties nila kung hindi sila naka-duty sa mga adlaw. So to summarize, use of Excel sheet to enter, calculate, manipulate, analyze number. So for mathematical purposes ganaton of calculating and analyzing numbers. So columns are identified by letters, rows identified by numbers. So a point which column intersect is called a cell. Then you can highlight it by clicking. That is your active cell. The range of cells group is closely situated cells is called your range or range of cells. So alphabetic text information in cells is referred as labels, whereas numeric are called values. Then a formula is a type of data that performs a calculation. So when you enter a formula in a cell, you must first type an equal sign. And a function is a built-in formula that performs calculations ranging from simple to complex, and using copy-paste commands or fill handles, you can copy data from one cell to another. And a relative cell reference refers to a cell that changed or copied. That's may absolute naman ang wala ka change. And auto-sum feature enables you to quickly add a range of cells and changing the appearance of data by adding a variety of formatting tools which can be applied to one of the Excel cell styles. Then selected data in a spreadsheet can be hidden, but it will not be displayed or printed by using the hide option sa atong menu. And then the contents can be displayed in chart format by using insert chart, and then chart displays in the spreadsheet data visually so that data can be understood more easily. So I will demo na for the WPS natin yung version. We'll have anong example data tadi. Wait lang. Sige, enable lang yun. Let me share the screen. Tama yun eh. Okay. Maning blank mo kami spreadsheet for WPS ng Excel. So manotice nyo mas damo na sila adjustment kag they made it more simply na gid. Unlike sa kumpara mo sa mga descriptions nga discuss naton. So a few functionalities, changing the width na madagina. May exercises mo mo ni dito pro amo ni ipakita ko lang. Amo ni. So you change the width by dragging it. The same man sa dire. Makita mo lang icon niya malain. Daw amo na. And then selecting the column. Amo ni siya arrow. Change the arrow to downward naman from across to money. So this is the active cell, selecting a column of money. Selecting a row, same and just click on the side So the active cell is indicated by this diri na. So you can add formula sa nang diri sa fill area niya. And for ano pa ito na merge and center mani. So if you have data with diri no. For example, ang ganda ko pala sa inyo. If you want to merge attendance, merge and center. Gawa mo ng text, type it, tapos enter mo lang. And diri mo lang di mga conditional formatting niya, mga alignment niya. Same sa formatting center or left or right. I-bold mo pwede man. Then is one bold. Increase lang ang font, pwede man. And then can have borders, no? If you select this one akong shortcut, but you can select it and then click the border, or you can just have outside lang, outside borders. So namin si WPS kung more specific siya sa but you can just look to ang thumbnail yung button kung or button lang. We just go with the all borders no, parang na arrange, or you can just fill any color yung button or you can choose another color. You can select this and then butang ka sa green bay, for example, pwede na. Now for the to sum, usually diri ng formulas or you can have the formula diri diri na din mga ginabutang nila. So amo pagiging advantage ni WPS kay they have pre-selected nga formula. Pwede na tayo mag-delve diri kay medyo functions na basically these are the list of functions, pero medyo mathematical nga tanan. We don't need to gamiton na tanan. These are just predefined formulas na ni sila. So para for easier use ang ila users, so just select one inilikanan lang, tapos just add it to the cell, tapos makita na sa cell nga ibutangan. So for example, mga gamit sa sum naman, let me input some numbers so dito button. So after adding sum, ang buwan niya is select nyo din sa arrange for dre no. Kung makita mo din sum, meron na sum sa dalom sa status bar, mas sum na siya. Kaya when you click on this dili siya magwa sa next gid ang pinakadalom gid niya cell sa imong arrange nga napili, dito na siya ma-add sa sum. So if you select on this, makita mo ang formula niya. This among sum sa C3, this is C3, during C3 C3 up to arrange na C15. So C15 is here. So magiging Brian na it will add all of the values from this range of cells and put the result diri next sa pinaka lowest nga part sa nga selected nga range. So later on, pwede naka-ubras ang ibang formula. For example, ubras ko sa formula diri by using our method equals select a cell. Example, I'm going to select a cell and use a mathematical symbol or times to be or minus. Try to minus and then select the second cell nga minus mo siya. For example, diri. Then we just click enter or click or enter or check mo So inublayan this is the formula. It subtracted the value from C9 to sa C6. So that is an example of a formula but for kung later on familiarity na lang, dili ka na lang makita sa mga financial or mga math na di mga predefined functions but will not go into detail. Ang importante lang is you can generate this type of information nga pwede nyo makalculate. So matry mo brackets ng graph using this. Not sure kung pareho sila method sa Word but Yan, ma-add naman to liwat. Well, delete. So, delete na yan. So, this is a summary kung may value na ito. And then, maubra ta sang graph. So, kung mag-ubra ka sang graph, you need to select the range naman. Ma-range ka na naman. Tama na yung example. Tapos, insert, chart. Dili ka mapili isang design. Yung column type of chart, no? May column, may stock man. May line, may pie chart, may bar. Ang bar horizontal, yung version. May area, man. This is see my line, may fill. Tapos, may stock utilize, ano lang, lines lang. Or combo, depende man sa'yo magamitan. Pero, usually, this, ano lang yan, maraming part and apat ang ginagamit. So, we go with the column din. Column. And, balo lang. Ay, kamo. Gusto mo itong method, pero do hindi siya mag, ito na. Double click lang. So, this is the data. Ang data yan ay dili na halin sa ano. Wait lang, dito lang. This is wala pa. Chart elements. Kuha mo yung ano. Dali lang. Follow yung wala sa isang option nga ano. So, liwatan na lang. May option sa na yung mga detail din sa area, pero ang guwaya is nagkuha siya dito 3. Diri sa yes mo dyan lang. Shape outline. Laylayin itong setup niya. Try doon. Okay, so ano na and we go with this naman. Kung select ka man ang dali, tapos ano ito, insert chart. Pero dapat ang method yun is ano no, naman itsura yun. Hindi siya mas ano, hindi siya ma-detail. Kaya select na din ano, ang rows mo from 3 to 15. So dapat ang dili nga side may ano man, may predefined data no. Po amo man na, amo ang method mo, you just need to customize it later on kung paano mo siya i-develop ang chart. Pero amo na same man nga no. Same nga method naton sa WPS no. Ang basic magyapon is we need to be familiar kung paano ang formulas nila nga function. Kag ano ang aton nga mga formatting options nga pwede na tumubra. So any questions on the topic for now?